Well, I'll probably get banned for 32 weeks for that. It, but it just hit me as the right song at the right time. Tough enough. Hold on, let me get this thing out of here. Stay, stay. I just howdy. What up? I wanted to talk tonight about the big deals. The big deals. Um, little baby Frank. If y'all haven't met little baby Frank, you need to. He is a trip. Uh, he is a. You're always glad, you know. You're always glad when you. Hold on, let me get rid of this damn thing. I don't know why it keeps popping up. You're always glad when your kids do better than you do, you know, and that's what you want. I mean, that's the thing, right? You want your kids to grow up and be happy and do good stuff and just be, you know, successful and stuff. And I gotta say, you know, I turned this company over to my son, my company, about 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago, and he has been, he's just been banging on it. I mean, just tearing it up. And he, as a matter of fact, he's out west somewhere right now with our customers, and that's why I wanted to bring this up. The big deal. Make a big deal. How can you make a big deal? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to do it. I've made a few big deals in my time, but before I get started, I am going to say something. I got one of Van's. See, I got this glare happening. I can't be right. I got Illumable on here. He calls it Illumable. I call all his products Illumable and Shineable and Polishable. You know, because I like that sound. But Van, the guy that owns Bull Snot, he's a guy that knows how to make a big deal. I mean, he knows how to make a deal. He knows the proper process. And I'm going to give that to you guys. There ain't very many people here. I hope for more. Maybe there'll be some more. Maybe they won't. But the people that are here, I'm getting to do something I never get to do when watching this show, enjoying a nice ice beer while watching this show. That's good. That's good. I can tell you right now, if my doctor even thought that I was drinking a beer, I would be in deep, 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 deep shit. So, anyway, enough of that. Uh, we're going to talk about making a big deal. We're going to talk about how to do it. We're going to talk about what to do when you get in the room. And let me start with this. And Bull Snot is the absolute best. It just, you know, the reason I pitch for it, wear his hat, say, hey, Bella, what's up, girl? The reason I pitch for it and talk about Van's stuff is, number one, Van is a friend of mine, and I like Van. I do like that guy. I like him. And number two, he is a real guy. I mean, he makes this stuff, and I haven't tried one of his products, and I think he's up to like 10 or 12 different products now. I haven't used one that doesn't work. They all work. I put some pictures up the other day of my Challenger and my motorcycle, my Harley, and I got out in the front yard Saturday morning and cleaned them up. I know a lot of you guys like to go down and hang out with the soccer moms at the car wash, but I don't. I do my own shit in the yard because I want it done my way, and that's just how it is. I mean, tough shit. But anyway, Anthony Shaggy Koch, what up, brother? Anyway, I got out in the yard and I got all my Bull Snot stuff out, and I started working on my American Iron and got it spiffy and got it looking good and got it looking right. And then when I got done with it, you know, I said, damn, that's so much better than the car wash down there with the soccer moms could ever pull off. But anyway, his stuff works. I suggest if you get a chance, to get some of it, good evening. How are you? I suggest if you get a chance to get your hand on some, get it. And here's my favorite. Now, I probably shouldn't say this, but, you know, we got the big shop up there at Ricky's place. And Ricky's shop, and we work on a lot of motors and we work on a lot of trucks. And I took a can of Van's new stuff up there. His he's got some stuff. It's grease buster, and to cut grease. And I just gave it to the mechanics. I said, "Here, try this out. See what you think of that." And I left for a couple of days, and I came back, and they were working on something else, and they were down there, head down, ass down, working on another truck. And when I walked by, one of them looked up and he said, "Yeah, that bull snot stuff, that grease stuff you brought by." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, it works." I go, "Okay." So now I had to order another case of it for those guys because now they're using it on all their motors and shit. Anyway, all that stuff works, and you can't. I don't know. You just can't say enough about that. Alyssa, I haven't seen you in a blue moon. Where you been? Anyway, that's why I pitch for it. That's why I like it. And so I want to talk about that, but I want to talk about the big meetings. Let's talk about the big meetings. If you call a customer, anybody, if you're buying a truck, if you're purchasing some property, if you're going into a meeting that's a big meeting and it has some, has some financial consequence for you, be that good or not good, then that's a big meeting for you. It's going to affect your income. It's going to affect your revenue. It's going to affect your business and all that. At the end of the day, when you get done with all that's going to affect your life and your family. That's a big deal. That's a big, big deal. So I want to start out with this. Number one, if you call a customer and ask for a meeting and they give you one, okay, that's your meeting. It's not their meeting, okay? It's your meeting. You got to remember that. When you walk in there, you might be with some big snot, a big shot, or some big wheeler dealer or something like that. Somebody that, in their world, in the world they live in the place where they work, that might be. Hold on a minute. That might be their world, the big thing, and they might be the big dog in that world. Still, pay attention. This is important. It's your meeting. You asked for it. And anybody that's a pro, anybody that's in business, has been in business for any length of time, knows that. They know that when somebody calls a meeting, in this case you, and somebody schedules, you give them one, and somebody schedules a meeting, they go to that meeting prepared for you to take charge of the meeting. Now, that said, when you show up, like I said, you might have a meeting with some big shot or vice president or president or owner or, somebody like that. And when you do, you walk in, they might have a tendency to try to take over, and try to steer the meeting the way they want it to go. I'm going to tell you right now, that's the most typical thing in the world. What you have to learn to do, what you have to be able to do, is control the meeting. Make the deal, okay? Control the meeting. If some big shot or some little shot or somebody noisy in the corner of the room that likes to talk, if they try to take your meeting off track or go in a different direction with it, or get it off the subject that you are there to talk about, it's your job to bring it back to where it was. And you have to do that. And there's a million ways to do it. I'm going to tell you a couple. The nicest way to do it is to listen, shake your head, listen. And when they're finished talking, say, "Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate your input. What I'm here to talk about is this." And go back to where you want to be. Go back to what you're talking about. Control the conversation. Control the meeting. You have to do that. You don't have to be shitty about it. You don't have to offend people. In fact, most of the time you won't. You'll be surprised. Most of the time you won't. Most of the time, if you bring a meeting back to where it was, or where you want it. Hello, family. I think that's the end of the interruptions. Have we been having interruptions? What the hell? Oh, Ron, what's up? Yeah, I might have caused some interruptions by playing music at the beginning. Sometimes that happens. They'll cut me off because I did that. But we're just going to stay here and keep talking until the cows come home. Anyway, ask for a meeting. When they grant you the meeting, when you go to the meeting, it could be a Zoom call. My phone's been ringing. Oh, okay. Can't help that. When you go into the meeting, when you get to the meeting, it might be a Zoom call. It might be a conference call. It might be, no, good, Bella, good. It might be in person in a room, in a conference room with, several people. But when you go to that meeting, however you attend it, however you go there, however you attend that meeting, you have to remember that that is your meeting. That's your chance. That's your opportunity. And you need to go in there prepared to hold a meeting and prepared to lay out your case and prepared to make your presentation. If you're going in there and you own a truck and you're going into a customer and you want some business, remember that's what you're there for. Okay? You're not there to talk about the weather or the football team. I mean, it's good to do that. It's good to break the ice and say some personal things. But your end goal, when you walk in that room, your end goal is to get the business. That's what you're there for. Okay? And in order to do that, you got to be prepared. You got to make your presentation. You got to tell them who you are, what you can do for them, how that would benefit them, how doing business with you would be a good thing for them. And you have to be prepared to answer questions because they'll always have some. You have to be prepared for the meeting, okay? When you go in, you get the meeting with these people. We've already figured it out, guys. It's an important meeting, and you've got to control that meeting, all right? I've spoken in front of a lot of people. When I was doing the consulting thing for the government, a lot of times I would speak to groups of people, and oftentimes it would be owners of trucking companies. A lot of times it would be some of the owners or presidents or senior vice presidents of some of the big mega companies. Those guys like to talk. They like to be heard. They like to get their opinion out there. Who's telling me hi? I got to look. I hate this damn thing. Mara, what up, babe? Those guys like to talk. They like to be heard. They like to tell everybody their opinion. They like to tell everybody what they're thinking and all that bullshit. That's fine. That's fine. Let them, okay? And then when they're done, just smile and say, thank you, Bill. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Anyway, what we're here to talk about is, and put the meeting back on track. You won't have to do that but one or two times. And everybody in the room will figure out what you're doing. And everybody in the room will figure out that you are prepared and you're there to do business, not play games. They'll figure it out, and the interruptions will stop. They will stop. And somebody might come up to you. I've had it happen to me. Somebody, one guy, he was the president of one of the big trucking companies. He came up to me after the presentation, and when I do those things, for the government stuff for the big trucking companies, they usually run about an hour, give or take, and I've done it a million times, so I'm prepared. I know what to do, what to say. I can answer the questions. But he came up and he said, you know something, buddy? I really didn't appreciate you interrupting me. And I said, well, who interrupted who? I mean, you paid a lot of money to come here and hear me talk. But then you got in the room and you wanted to talk. So who interrupted who? Because I would never come to your place or go to your meeting and interrupt you. That's that. You got to stand your ground. You got to make your points. You got to answer the questions. And then at the end of the thing, you've got to get this now. If you don't take anything else away from this, take this, okay? Take this. At the end of your presentation, you have to ask for the business. You got to ask for it. If you're buying a truck, you've got to try to close the deal. Not the other guy, you, okay? Tenacity, Yeah. Ask for the business. Don't be shy. You worked hard to get in there. You prepared yourself for the meeting. You got in there. You did what you were supposed to do. You made your presentation. You answered all the questions. Ask for the business. Ask them straight up. Ask them straight up. Is there any reason that we can't do business today? Ask them that. Put them on the spot. Make them answer the question. Is there any reason that we can't come to a deal right here today? Is there any reason in the world that we can't close this thing up and do some business together? And if somebody tells, well, then you need to take control of the meeting again and say, if there's any questions I need to answer or for anything else I need to cover, let's go through that. Let's go. Because I came here today, I asked for your attention, I asked for your time, because I'm here to do business with you. That's what I want to do. And tell them. Listen, people, if you don't tell them, here's this might sound stupid, but it's true. If you don't tell them, they don't know. It's true. It's true. You can sit there and talk to a room full of people for 2 hours. But if you don't say, I want your business, that's why I'm here, they don't know. They don't know. They'll think, well, what a nice person. Awful good of them to come by and spend some time talking about their company and all that. We really appreciate that. Hell, maybe we'll call them someday. Tell them. Tell them what you want them to know. Tell them what you want them to hear. Don't be shy. And once again, guys, I mean, everybody in here in this group is my family, and you guys know me. I'm kind of blunt. I've got a reputation for that. I always have had. I'll just straight up say, why can't we do some business? What's the holdup? What have I not answered that I need to answer? Where do I need to go that I haven't gone? What do I need to do? Tell me what I need. And put them on the spot. Make them answer the question. Make them tell you how to make the deal. Close the sale. Close the deal. And once they say, okay, you get together with Bob over there, you guys draw up the paperwork and we'll go to work. Once they say that, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Don't keep talking. Don't keep going on and on and on about your cousin Junebug and how far he can hit a baseball and how much liquor he can drink. Shut up. When somebody tells you it's okay, I'll buy it. Stop talking. It's just like a cop or a DOT guy. What do you do when that cop says, okay, you can go now? What do? You keep talking? You keep talking? No. You smile and kick your brake off and put that truck in gear and wave and go away. You leave. Correct. You don't keep talking. Shut up. You made the sale. You've done your job. If you keep talking, you'll talk yourself right out of it. It happens every day. I see people do that every day. They get in some room, they're making some deal, they're talking to some bigwig, that's going to give them some business, and they'll keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. And at some point, somebody's going to sit around and go, this guy must be crazy. This girl's nuts. I don't want to do business with him. Shut up. When they say, you know what? Like what you had to say. We appreciate it. I think we can do some business together. Shut up. The meeting's over. Remember, it's your meeting. You're in control of that meeting. They're not. They'll try to be, but they are not. You are in control. When it's time to shut up and head for the door, shut up and head for the door. Thank everybody. Smile. You've done your job. And evidently, you've done it pretty damn well. So shut up and get out of the building. Get away from them. Do the business. Prove yourself on the street. Prove yourself by doing what you said you would do. Prove yourself. Let's face it. I mean, let's be serious, okay? The only difference between me and all the other guys out there hauling the stuff I haul is me. That's the only difference. Everybody's got trucks. Everybody's got truck drivers. Everybody's got this and that. I mean, name it. You put it all in a hat, shake it up, and dump it on the table. Everybody's the same, except me and except you. We are the difference. We make the difference. And the biggest difference is when you do work for somebody, when somebody gives you business and do work, always, always, always do what you say you're going to do. And when I say that, I mean this, okay? Don't overcommit. Don't lie. Don't ever lie. Tell the truth. Don't overcommit. Don't tell somebody that you'll do something that you know damn good and well you can't do. Maybe you don't have enough trucks. Maybe you don't have the right trucks. Maybe you don't have, the equipment to do that. Maybe you don't have whatever the reason is. Don't ever lie and say you're going to do something that you cannot do. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. It's just like when you haul freight for people. You're a lot better off if you're going to be late for some reason, traffic, weather, whatever. We're in the trucking business. We drive around in machines that are made out of metal and rubber. They're going to quit once in a while. You're going to get in traffic once in a while. You're going to get bad weather that you shouldn't be driving in, so you should stop. That's going to happen once in a while. But here's what you do. You call your customer and you communicate with them. You can never over-communicate. There's no such thing. I don't care what anybody says. Call them and tell them, I'm right here. I'm doing this. I'm going to be about an hour late. If anything happens to make me any later or any earlier, I'll give you a call. I wanted to give you a heads up. That's a hell of a lot better. That's a hell of a lot better than them having to call you and say, hey, where the hell are you at? You don't want that. That's a deal breaker. That's a killer. That'll cost you business. That'll cost you a relationship with a customer. But if you call them and you're dead honest with them and tell them the truth, I'm right here. I got behind a wreck and I sat there for 2 hours. It's going to put me about an hour late. I wanted to call and give you a heads up just in case. Most people, reasonable people, most people can work with that. If they can't, if they're going to be an asshole about it anyway, well, again, that's business, guys. That's the business we're in. You're going to run into some assholes here and there. It's going to happen. But you're better off right out of the gate. You're better off to call them on the phone and communicate with them and talk to them. Let them know where you're at and what's going on so they can plan, so they can get us out. See, all these people that you do business with, they have customers too. They are a customer, your customer, but they have customers too. I'm told my communication is about what is going on in transit was so good it actually caught my company off guard because they weren't used to it. I was shocked. It doesn't get any better than that. Everybody's got a truck. Everybody's got a trailer. Everybody burns fuel. Everybody goes here, goes there. The only difference between them and you is you. There's no other difference. And that you do what you say you're going to do. That's the difference. So how do you make the big deal? You get in the room, you control the meeting, you make your presentation, you close the sale, you ask for the business. Tell them straight up. I've had this one customer, I've had them for 23 years. And I always, and I've known these guys, some of them, a couple of them have worked there the whole time I've been doing business with them. And I always tell them, thank you for the business. I appreciate you. I appreciate the business. Thank you for keeping me around. I sure appreciate it. Oh, man, we're family here. It just doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that. So how can you make the big deal? You get a meeting, you ask for a meeting. Once you get in there, and it's kind of hard to do sometimes not. But if you're a professional about it, and if you say, I'd like to come by and talk to you about it, it'll only take 10 or 15 minutes of your time. I'd like to tell you what I think I can do for you. If you approach it that way, you'll get in the door more times than not. And when you get in the door and you are a professional, sit down and control that meeting. And ask for the business. Ask for the business. Don't leave without asking for the business. That's what you came for. If you're buying a truck and you ask for a meeting, you sit down with the salespeople or the guy that runs the place and you say, here's what I can do. Do you want to sell me that truck right now, today, for this much money? Close them. It's called closing. Close the sale. Close the deal when you're talking to a new customer. Close the deal if you're driving your truck and you're talking to a broker. Brokers work on closing all day, every day. How many times have you heard this from a broker? Can you haul this load? Can you pick this load up on time for me today for $1,600? Can you do that? They're closing you. They're making you make a commitment. They're making you say yes. And guys, don't ever be afraid to take yes for an answer. I got a friend of mine, I swear, to hell, that son of a bitch can't take yes for an answer if you beat him over the head with a baseball bat. You say, okay, Billy, we'll do that. He'll go, well, the reason I wanted you to do it, and he'll keep talking and go, Billy, 10 minutes ago, I said, okay, we'll do that. It's a good deal. Let's do it. Can't take yes for an answer. I can take yes for an answer. When that DOT guy's, okay, man, I appreciate it now. You be safe out there. You can go now. We're through, he and I. Our relationship has come to an end. Our communication has ceased. We're at the finale. We are finished. We are done. We move on now. Same thing when you're in a meeting. When the meeting is finished, don't keep talking. Don't make a nuisance of yourself. Get out. Go home. Take yes for an answer and go home. The interaction has concluded. That is correct. That is correct. Some people are happy to see you come, and some people are happy to see you go. So, that's my spiel for tonight. That's what I wanted to talk about. Making a deal, making a big deal. Control the meeting, control the conversation, control the focus of the meeting. The focus of the meeting is what you can do to solve that customer's problems, what you can do to make that customer's life better. They've all got customers too, and they don't want that phone call at 8 o'clock the next morning. Hey, you had a truck that was supposed to be here this morning. Where is it? They don't want that. They don't want that. Their boss doesn't want that. Always communicate. Always talk to these people. And remember who you are and remember who they are. If you're a one-truck outfit, then you are the president. You are the operator. You are the safety manager. You are the director of operations. But above all, you're the owner. And in your world, you're the top dog, baby. The buck stops here. That's the end of the conversation, right there with you. So there's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to talk about, right? I've had people call me when I'm out driving. Sometimes people call me on the phone, and I'll go, "Why are your truck just passed me?" And he was flying. I go, "Yeah, that was me. I'm the head redneck in charge." That's right, HMFIC, head motherfucker in charge. Set the tone for the meeting. Keep the tone for the meeting. Keep control of the meeting. Keep control of the people there. Keep control of people around you. Close the deal and leave the building. That's how it works. That's how it works. People will appreciate that, especially guys that are in some corporate setting, whether it's big corporation or a little one. They will appreciate that you came in there and you are a professional and you made your point, you got to the point. You didn't yin-yang around or play games or hum-ha, make shit up off the top of your head. You were prepared, you made your presentation, you made your point, and you shut up and you left the building. People love that. They love it. They love it. You don't have to be everybody's best friend. We had a show back a few months ago about, and I was talking about don't be the number one, don't be the cheap guy. Don't be the number one call, be the number 3 call and the number 5 call. And we'll go back over that sometime if you guys want to. It's the same thing when you're having a sales meeting. It's the same thing when you have a meeting to meet new people. Okay? You don't have to be everybody in the room's friend. You don't have to do that. That's not what you're there for. You're not there to make a lot of friends. You're there to get business. And if that turns into a friendship, great. You find out, and some of us, and Mara and some of my friends that are on here, you find out when you start to get a little bit older that making real friends takes a whole lot more time than just a meeting. It takes a while. Now, making an acquaintance doesn't take very long, but making a real friend, somebody that you call a friend, that takes a while. You know, building that relationship, building that trust, building that tie between the two of you. You know, it takes a while. So, when you go in to make a big deal, that's how I do it. I've been doing it that way for years and years. I've been on both sides of the table. You know, I've been, number one, I've been the guy going in there to make the sale, to sell myself, to sell my services, to sell my work to people. I've also been on the other side of the table where people come in there and sell stuff to me. And they're selling stuff to me. I've been on both sides of the table. I appreciate it. I appreciate it when somebody comes in and we get to the point and we figure out what we're going to do together. We make an agreement and then we're done. Now that said, and Mara knows this, and I don't know where my girls are tonight. I don't know. I hadn't heard from a couple of them in a while. But Jess knows this. Mara knows this. You know, Jason knows this. You know, if you come to the shop, if you come to Ricky's up there, you come in and you need something done to your truck or you want to talk business or something like that, you come in there and we will do that. And we will most likely go out in the shop and sit down. We got some old truck chairs out there, you know. It used to be in trucks. It's very comfortable. And we'll sit around out there and solve all the world's problems just as long as you want to. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, especially if it's something we like to talk about, which is trucks. And you know the other stuff. I ain't going to get into it. I ain't got to get into it. Okay? Because you know the other stuff. We'll talk forever and ever and ever. But when we're doing business, unless they're a true friend, they only get in the way. Yeah. Yeah. When we're talking business, when we're there to do business, let's do business. Let's talk business. Let's get serious. Let's put our business hat on. Jeff, what up, brother? Haven't seen you in a while. What up, man? Let's do business. Let's talk about business. Let's come to an agreement. Let's get together. You know, let's talk. You know. Mara say, sit out there all day. Yeah, and all damn night if you want to. Yeah, we like it. We like it. But been busy working 7 days. Buddy, there's worse problems to have. I mean, damn, good. I mean, bless you. That's great. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. We'll keep it a little short tonight. But when you go to make a big deal, try to keep like what used to go on in the back row of truck stops. Yeah. You know, when you go to make a big deal, please keep those things in mind. Just keep that stuff in mind. Make a little note and put it in front of you. Control this meeting. Don't let it get out of hand. Don't let it get off subject or off topic. If you do, you're screwed. It's over. It's over. If you let the meeting get out of hand and go a different way, it's over. Don't do that. Keep bringing it back. Put it where you want it. Put it where you want it. Make your point. Make your sale. Ask for the business. Leave the building. If you'll do that, you will be successful more times than not. And ask for that business. Ask them straight up. Say, is there some reason we can't do business today? Right now. I came here to do business with you. I always tell my customers this, especially my biggest, oldest one. I always tell them, you're my biggest customer. You're very, very important to me. Very important. So I want to make damn sure you're happy before I leave here. And I'll do. And Frank's out there right now. He's with them right now. They're all out to dinner, yucking it up and drinking a beer. But when they get in that meeting in the morning, Frank will stand up at the end of the table, and he's a great big boy. He'll stand up and he'll take over that meeting, and he'll run that meeting until it's over. because he knows all about controlling the meeting, and he's damn good at it. I'm ready to do business. What's the holdup? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's what I think about doing a big deal. That's what I think about doing business. That's how I've done it for years and years and years, and I have done okay with it. You know, it's worked out for me. That's the method that works out for me. So, if I can help you, or if we can help each other, that's what this group, that's what this group is about. I mean, Michael called me earlier today and we're talking about a couple of things, this and that. And he said, man, I really appreciate this family, this group. I said, me too. I do too. And what I like most about this group, I don't care if there's 1,000 people here or 5 people. I don't care. I don't care. What I like most about it is we help each other. That's what I like about it. That's what I come here for. I don't come here for anything else. Got to help each other. We do. We do. That's rare. It's few and it's far between. You know, people talk about old school, and there's some old school stuff that I would like to go back to, but there's a whole lot of old school stuff that I don't miss. You know, I'm glad we made some progress and made some changes and came light years ahead of where I first started, 44 years ago, 45 years ago. I'm glad that things are better and easier than they used to be. I'm glad the equipment's better. I'm glad that, for the most part, most of the shippers and receivers are better. I'm glad for it. It just makes it easy. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about, how to make a deal. Ask for the business. You get in the room, don't blow that. If you get in the room with a shipper and you're selling yourself, and you get in the room with somebody that you want to do business with, don't blow it. Don't blow it. It's easy to do. You try to be a nice guy. Well, I never did get to do it because that guy kept interrupting me. Control the meeting. Stop them. Keep going with your presentation. And this smart ass guy that came up to me at the end of the meeting, it's been several years ago, I really don't appreciate you interrupting me. He's no longer there. Everybody saw through his weak little ass and they ran him off pretty soon after. This group has camaraderie that is really invaluable. I like it that way. What I like about it is the exchange. What I like about it is the comments. What I like about it is the participation. I would love to have everybody in this group on this show with me. I'm glad to do it. I'll send you an invite anytime somebody wants to come on here and sit here and talk to me. Charles Bundy sends me one all the time. He has this show on the weekends, and if I'm here, if I'm at home, he'll send me an invite, and I'll go in there and talk. I don't stay real long because Charles, him and his boys go on 2 or 3 hours sometimes, and I'm not allowed. I got a short leash around my house. I'm not allowed to play that long. But that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, making deals, how to make a deal, how to make a presentation, how to get the business. That's what I want to talk about. But that's pretty much all I got for tonight. And that's a good thing. Because I like to talk. Sometimes I just sit here and talk to hear the inside of my fucking head roar. And that's no good for anybody. But I appreciate you guys. I do. I appreciate the shit out of you. I'm glad you came by. Bring your friends. Let's have some fun. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, we got to make a living. And guys, life is short. Got to have some. Yes, it is. Good night, guys. Appreciate it.